Welcome to another episode of Crawfordsville Connection, the City of Crawfordsville's weekly podcast that comes out every Monday morning. I'm your host, Sarah Summer, and I'm joined in the studio every week with Mayor Todd Barton to keep our community up to date on current events, city workings, and to hear from community members on a variety of topics. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Welcome back to another episode of Crawfordsville Connection. I'm your host, Sarah Summer, and today I'm joined in the studio by Mayor Todd Barton.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
It's good to be here.
Yes. And with us, we have Shari Patton, our new Farmers Market Director.
Hello. Thanks for asking me to be here.
Of course. Mayor, this is going to be a much lighter topic than last
That's right.
week.
Last week was pretty heavy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we've got some exciting stuff here with the farmers market, and Shari is the expert. So we're going to talk all about farmers market, the 2025 season, what's coming up, and what people can expect. But before we get started, Mayor, do you have any announcements?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not. The legislative session has ended, so we'll probably wrap things up once we know how the dust settled.
Yes.
So we're still trying to figure that out right now.
Right.
So, yeah.
And next
Stay
week is our
tuned.
general update. So
It
we'll
is.
go over.
Yeah, we'll probably touch on it in the general update and then just go from there. So,
Okay.
Yep.
All things Crawfordsville. So if you're listening and you want updates on something specific before next week's episode, send us an email and let us know.
yes, we'll work it in.
Yes.
Sounds like you guys have been very busy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. We're working on it always.
We're working on it.
Yes. Okay. Well, Shari, we'll kick it over to you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure.
What's your involvement in the community? How might people know you in previous roles before being the farmers market director? And just tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, those roles that I had before is really what has led me to this role.
Yeah.
I was a county employee for about 20 years. Worked through the health department and through our emergency management agency, and had a lot of support throughout the community to build out those programs. So that went really well. I retired in October after a stint with Indiana Department of Homeland Security and NDOT as their safety coordinator. And it just made sense to get back into things after retirement. I'm a very social person, and to me, the farmers market is one of the biggest social events that we have. So that's what led me back to the role.
Awesome. And, being brand new, you obviously know about the farmers market. You've been, what's your vision and what's your hope to put your spin on the market for this year?
Yeah, so there's definitely a learning curve. Even though I've been a participant there before, buying all the great local things from vendors and artisans, there's still some things to learn. So the vision, I think, is to bring those folks back that we've had before, and they are coming back for the most part. I think bringing in some new vendors is typically something that I've wanted to do, and we've been able to do that.
Awesome.
Some great artisans are coming back. We've got some vendors that we have gotten a hold of us. So, for example, Homegrown Homestead, which has a little stand down out on Black Creek Valley Road, they'll be joining us this year, which we're really excited about. Campbell's Baked Goods, they're from here in Crawfordsville, and Rector Family Ranch, and they actually have a lot of products that are made out of goat milk. And they're from New Ross. So the majority of our vendors are from Montgomery County or surrounding counties. We have some folks from Park County that are coming in, and some that we've had, actually 7-generation farm.
Wow.
I was just amazed to learn how many generations these farms go, and then they're still at our farmers market. So that's pretty exciting. So that's getting those vendors here and getting some new entertainment and some new food trucks, just ramping it up.
That's awesome. And the 2025 season is about to start.
It is.
What is our very first market for this year?
So our opening market is May 3rd, and it starts at 8 o'clock. Our vendors come in about 6:30, start setting up everything, getting Pike Place closed up for everybody and making it safe. And we'll have Actually, we've had, I think I want to say around over 20 vendors that have signed
Wow.
up. Yeah, and they're still coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And most of those are all market, We do have some one-offs here and one-offs there, but we're looking forward to that.
That's
So May
awesome.
3rd, that's
Awesome.
our start date.
Mayor, Sherry touched on, the variety of different vendors, and we talk a lot about entrepreneurs in our community and those small businesses. What is the impact that brings to our community, especially when they're contributing to something like the farmers market?
Yeah, it allows them to, I think, get that experience. Maybe they're not at the level they want to have bricks and mortar, but they can
Right.
go sell their product, whether it's produce or meat or whatever it is. It's a great opportunity for them, and we've actually, at one point, the market became a victim of its own success because there were so many vendors who started out that moved to bricks and mortar,
Right.
Mhm.
and so they left the market.
Yeah.
But it was a good reason.
Mhm.
Four Seasons Market comes to mind. I mean, that was a spinoff from the farmers market.
Yeah.
So it's a great opportunity for people to get established and offer what they have.
The Low Farm, that's a great
Yeah,
example with
yeah.
them too. They are one of those generational farmers that
Yeah.
opened their own stand at their home and their own little store. So we're happy for them.
Mhm.
We're sad to lose them.
Right.
We're hoping they'll come back and make a guest appearance.
Yes.
So, and the folks that do the elderberry, yeah, same thing. I'm going to reach out to them and see if they'll come back once or twice just to have them back. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's kind of like our accelerator office idea that we had at Fusion.
Yeah.
It's kind
Yeah.
of like an accelerator office in essence. We want people to get started somewhere, but then hopefully they can grow so big that they do have their own
Sure.
storefront.
Yeah.
It's a great place for people to get their feet wet.
Yeah.
For business and get those products out there. We have some amazing artisans as
Yeah.
well.
And these markets are so popular everywhere.
Yes.
And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
great that we have one right here.
Mhm.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and I have to say, Pike Place is an amazing place to hold this.
It is.
I mean, it's beautiful,
Yeah.
and it just gets better.
It
every
wasn't
year.
so much when they moved there.
Yeah.
When they first moved there, Pike Place didn't exist. It was just
Yeah.
Pike Street and an empty lot,
Right.
sitting right there.
Yeah,
So,
I remember when it started down at it was in the parking lot
parking lot at the courthouse.
at the courthouse, and people would just pull up and
Yeah.
and get together and
It was
and
there. I
do
tell
that.
people the story. So what happened was it was in the parking lot, and they came to us and said they were going to refinish the lot, seal it,
Mhm.
and so they needed to move temporarily 1 week
Mm.
somewhere else. I'm like, oh, Pike Street, that'd be perfect. Let's go down there. So they did it for 1 week,
And
and
never
they
went back.
never left.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked so well. And then we constructed Pike Place,
Right.
which now it's perfect. And we did that with the market in mind, the gates and all those
Yeah.
things. It's all designed that way. So
Yeah, and it's great when you drive through Crawfordsville, especially if you're not from
oh,
here.
people see it.
And
Yeah.
when they
yeah,
stop.
it's so visible, and
Yeah.
you see all those tents and just so much activity. It's really cool.
Yeah, it is. It is set up perfectly. I mean, with the food trucks and some of the vendors too. You grab your bagel and you can go sit
Mhm.
right at Pike Place at the tables and enjoy that, and it's perfect.
Yeah, I would much rather get my bags and go through that market than go to the supermarket. I mean,
Yes.
there's things I have to go to the supermarket for, but this is a social event on top. And
Absolutely.
You always wonder how many people are local and how many people are just stopping in and stuff.
Yeah.
We can probably figure that
Yeah,
out.
we've
Can't we?
got some data.
We've
I
got
was just
tools to
thinking
do that. Yeah.
we could pull some
Pull some cell phone data
Data.
and see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, something that goes with the market is, there's special events throughout the season. It's not always the same thing. Like you said, you've got some vendors that come and go just depending on their schedules and what their availability is. But there's, special events that hopefully draws different individuals down. Do you want to
Sure.
highlight some of those events that you have?
Sure, absolutely. So we have, I think probably the biggest thing that I've heard as the market manager is people have been asking me about the Kidpreneur
Yes.
Fair. Super, super excited about that. I don't have it on the books yet.
Mhm.
Once I get this first market under my belt, then I'll be working more on the special event side. But we plan on having something for them at least once, maybe twice.
Mhm.
We'll see how it goes. Also, the July 4th market, that week of July 4th, will honor our military and our first responders. And so we plan on doing some things for that. Of course, Father's Day, Mother's Day. We may have a few people. We've had a few people reach out to us that from yoga studios that would like to maybe do a demonstration for that.
Very
or some,
cool.
I always say this wrong, Tai Chi, is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the lawn.
I'm not the yoga type.
Yeah, I hear you. But so we maybe have a demonstration or two of that. We don't want to overshadow the market. We want the market to be the main thing. So
Right.
we won't do a lot of that, but it wouldn't hurt to have some of that. We are going to have the Marcus Harvest Party at the end of the season. We hope to do something with the race coming into town.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what we like to hear.
Yeah. I'm not sure what we'll do yet,
Yeah.
but I'll put my thinking cap on for that and really highlight that.
The Matterley Basin and Winchester, they had a huge market in their downtown during the race.
Interesting.
Yeah, which they have it normally anyway, but
Right.
everybody going to the race was at the market.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very
really?
cool.
So yeah,
Awesome.
but it was I mean, it's a whole different take. It was everything from clothes to A to Z.
Gotcha.
So, but
Okay.
yeah, that was part of it.
Yeah.
So
Well, there's some
we can do it
opportunity
here.
there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I think so. Yeah. So we're really excited about that. During the Strawberry Festival, we'll work with those vendors. We may have vendors that might go back and forth from our market to the Strawberry Festival. It's right there. We'd like to work a little closer in conjunction with them on that possibly.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a lot of good stuff coming up, and I'm just so ready for that produce and
Yes.
and things to ramp up. The farmers market starts with plants and flowers and things of that nature, but then those amazing summer vegetables,
Mhm.
they'll stop. That will all ramp up eventually. So
Great.
yeah.
And something unique and special that the farmers market does is you actually accept the SNAP benefits. Do you want to talk a
Absolutely.
little bit about how that process works and why that accessibility to fresh produce is important in our community?
Yeah, this is near and dear to my heart. I really am excited about this. We took SNAP EBT benefits last year. There were some bugs that we worked through, and Vaughn's been really working hard to get this process going. And so anybody that has the availability for SNAP EBT can come to the farmers market booth and
Mhm.
see me, and I will just uh, use their card to give them tokens.
Okay.
And we'll have a $1 token and a $5 token. And there are signs on the vendors' booths where they can use those.
Perfect.
And yeah, it is. It's a great program. So, and this gives them a chance to really try foods. That real taste flavor.
Yeah.
The SNAP benefits, some of the things that they can, obviously they can't use them at the food trucks and
Mhm.
things of that nature, but they can get vegetables, fruits, all the dairy products, eggs, meat, fish, poultry, anything they could get in a store,
Yep.
they can get there. So including baked goods, jams, jellies, it's a really great program, and it really opens up to everybody
Mhm.
to be able to come down and use those benefits. Those just for information, anybody that's using those benefits, if you have a $5 token, and you want to get as close to that $5 token as
Yep.
that amount as possible,
Right.
because they can't give change,
Yeah.
obviously. So, but it is a great program, and we're really going to push that as a benefit at our market this year.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it helps, we've heard from different people about food insecurity and the need for that in our
Mhm.
community.
Yeah.
And, what better way to get access to the healthy fruits and vegetables, but then you're also supporting local.
And we have a grocery gap, right?
Yes,
We
We
do.
do.
we talk about
Yeah.
that all the time. We hear that all the time.
We hear that all the time.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I really I've been reading a lot about farmers markets, because I jump in with both feet in anything that I do. So, our food travels an average of 1,500 miles
Wow.
from the facilities to the table.
Hmm.
And that's just not happening here.
Right.
We don't have all that plastic packaging. We don't have to use all the gas and diesel, and it's better for the environment. The footprint is so much smaller,
Hmm.
and the food's much healthier. So those people that have the SNAP EBT, we really want them to come up and join us at the market.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you know where your food comes from.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
and you can ask the farmer, hey,
Right.
what did you use on and the farmers market. One thing a great takeaway that I have from meeting the people that do the market, it's like a family. They
Mhm.
are all just
Mhm.
so great. They're just nice people.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And something fun that you all have is there's a farmers market T-shirt, but the hope is to get
Yes.
some new merchandise as well.
Yeah, so we'll use the same logo, but I've discovered Canva.
Oh,
Have you ever heard of Canva,
Yeah,
Sarah?
just a few times. Canva is my absolute favorite.
I love it.
Everything
Well,
I do is on there.
I may ask you for some tips
Yes.
then. So
She's like the Canva queen.
Yeah, Canva queen.
Good to know.
I go do presentations at all these conferences, and everybody's like, "Whoa, who did your presentation, Sarah?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sarah. Well,
It's
good,
not
I'll guess.
PowerPoint; it's Canva.
Yeah, it's
It is-
Canva
yeah.
presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the last market manager, Jennifer, who did a great job in
Mhm.
getting me caught up on stuff, she told me about Canva, and I can't stop using it.
It's
So,
awesome.
Yeah. So I have some really cool designs that I will take to our steering committee, because we do have a steering committee,
Mhm.
which is made up of some of the vendors and Fawn from Park and Rec and Crawfordsville. Jamie Harrington will
Yes.
be doing that. So we run things by them and Juror, and one of those things will be the new merch. So I'm looking forward to maybe getting some bags. We might branch out. Duke Energy gave us a grant,
Mhm.
and we're going to be using some of that money to beef up the farmer market merch and do some advertising. So we're excited about
That's
that.
awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
The merchandise, it kind of, builds a sense of community too.
It
People will
does.
wear that proudly
Mhm.
and say, I'm supporting local, I'm shopping local.
Yeah.
It also, I'm from Crawfordsville.
Yeah.
Look at what I've got. And so,
Yeah.
people, you think about, sports and whatnot. People love to proudly display the sports that they're supporting.
Mhm.
And so there's nothing different than supporting, your favorite place to shop.
I think the bags would be a hit.
Yeah.
I think
Have
so
your farmers
too.
market bags show up, and you just walk through there and
Yeah.
Yeah.
get your stuff.
Yeah. That's definitely right under t-shirts is
Yes,
those
the
bags.
bags. Yes.
And I'm thinking, maybe a coffee cup or, because
Right.
the logo is really cool. We're going to spruce it up a little bit, maybe change some colors. So yeah, we're excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, we've talked a little bit about the impact on the community in terms of public health and the importance of that. But it also, it supports our local economy. There's those social connections. Like you said, this is it's a huge social event for people. Some people are like, I don't really need to shop, but they meet up down there.
Mm-hmm.
And then they inevitably end up
It's
shopping.
the place to be on Saturday morning.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And it creates downtown activity for us. And sometimes, people might start at the farmers market, but then it spreads to the rest of our downtown. And it also supports our other downtown businesses.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, so many people, I think, just go just to be there and socialize and see other people and hang out.
Well,
fun.
inevitably, I see somebody I know because, I see somebody I know
Yeah.
everywhere I go. I think I'm going to run down there, get what I need, and get going. But I end up staying
Right.
and sitting and seeing somebody I haven't seen in a while. I've seen people from my high school that I hadn't seen in years, and we just get caught up. It's a great place to do that.
Yes. Mayor, you know what I'm hearing there? Be here, be known.
Yeah.
That's our
Sounds
city
familiar.
tagline. That's our city.
Absolutely.
It ties perfectly into that.
It
You
does.
captured
Well,
that perfectly.
Maybe that needs to be on the bag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's our city tagline is be here, be known. And everything you just said is, wherever I go, I see someone. That's exactly where that came from when we were,
You're
spoke
part
with.
of something here, and you're known here.
Yeah,
Yep.
people know that. And even if you don't know someone, you have that opportunity. And that's something else that we've talked about is, there's opportunity here and it could start right at the farmer's market.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Over a cup of coffee.
Yes.
And a cinnamon roll.
Absolutely. Oh man, those are good. Well, Mayor, how have you seen the farmers market contribute to some of the energy and the activity downtown?
Oh, it's been huge. I mean, that gives us that energy, on weekends to keep people coming downtown and thinking about downtown.
Right.
Where, like you said, they may not think about downtown on a Saturday morning, but now they do.
Yeah.
And let's go eat while we're downtown, and let's go shop. Let's do something else. So it gives life to our community for sure. And I think it fits very nicely with, the things that Main Street's doing with the concerts and, First Friday. It all comes together.
Yeah.
It works well. We couldn't be more happier. More happier? Is that a word?
More happier.
Yeah. We couldn't be happier with Pike Place and, what's happened there. This is what we want to see happen
Absolutely.
is this kind of stuff. And you go to First Friday and you're just like, it's almost surreal. Like this,
I
it's
know.
reality,
That's
right?
what you dreamed of.
Yeah, it's what we dreamed of. And, all these people are in downtown on Friday night or Saturday morning. I mean, that's exactly what we wanted to have happen.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's as good as it was 50 years ago, but it's pretty good.
Right.
So.
Right. How do you see the farmers market supporting some of our bigger goals with our community growth, and everything that we're trying to do outside of this? How can this play into it?
Well, it's part of the quality of life piece, right? Or quality of place piece. And as we're attracting those residents, again, think back, we have the jobs to fill, we have the opportunity, we have the housing coming, we have all those things. There are things that people want in a community if they're going to choose to live here.
Right.
And, that generation, those 20 to 40-year-olds, this is high on the list, so you have to make sure you have these things offered in your community. And we do. And we don't just offer it. I think it's a quality product here. It's really
Absolutely.
good. So.
I think sometimes Crawfordsville gets overlooked, like, oh, we're in rural Indiana, but we have so much more to offer than the typical small town rural Indiana community.
Yeah, and the feel of our market, I've been to some of the others, is very different. Like, I'm not gonna name any communities, but they're like in a field, or they're often a big parking lot off by a strip mall or something.
Right.
It's like ours is in the downtown. It has a very different vibe or feel to it. You feel like you're in the heart of the community.
Absolutely.
And I think that sets it apart from what I've seen with many of them. Maybe it's not as convenient for vendors and everybody, but it's that great big parking lot. But it's just a much different feel.
It is.
I have actually been contacted from some of the other markets that aren't supported by their city, and they're coming to our market because they're not being supported by their city. So it's definitely a good thing.
That's awesome. You highlighted a little bit that Duke Energy had provided a grant to the market. It's going to help with some of that merch. And what else do you hope that grant will do to, facilitate market growth?
So we are going to, I hope to, I've been looking at some of the word is escaping me, but it's like the giant flags that you can put out. Anything to visually focus on, have people focus on the market. Would like to do some of that. We're going to look at the banners that we have and see if they need to be updated. We'll be putting Duke Energy, their logo on some of our things. We definitely want to thank them for their support for our farmers market. So we're going to be doing some things like that.
Awesome.
Yeah. Visibility.
Yes. Yes. Well, it sounds like the farmers market is the place to be. So if someone is listening and they have a product or a service that they would like to provide, how can someone become a vendor?
So there's a small process to go through. What they need to email me, and I'll give my email at the end of the podcast. But they can just email me, and I'll send them a vendor agreement that it's just chock full of all kinds of information, what the requirements are. There's also an outline of what is different from a producer of a home-based vendor, a producer of a home-based vendor selling eggs. If they are an artisan, that jury process, what the pricing is, the insurance that is required, those food permits. We just walk them through everything. So I would send them some documents, and of course they can reach out to me by phone, email, however, and we'll do whatever we can to help them through that process, because we don't want to just, here's the information, you're on your own.
Right.
We want to walk them through that process and make it as easy as possible for them to be a vendor.
Absolutely.
We do have requirements though.
Yes.
So we want to stick to those. But I get phone calls on the daily. So it's good.
I think some of those requirements are also what set our farmers market apart from others, because we have a level of quality and standard that these vendors must meet to be able to be a part of the market.
Right. We want to keep it to a true farmer's market. The produce, vegetables, fruits, those things that are locally grown.
Not a flea market.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's nothing wrong with a flea market if that's what you're looking for, but that's not what we're looking for. And we have had to turn some vendors away, but we've also given them other opportunities in our community that are coming up that we've asked them to, get a hold of them.
Yeah.
So
great.
giving them opportunity as well. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
How can other community organizations get involved to help support the market?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to bring that up as well. We have a booth or two that we have each week for our nonprofits,
Okay.
and it's a great opportunity for them to come in and uh, bring their brochures
Mhm.
or sell some things that are okay to sell at the market
Right.
and make some money for their nonprofit. So they can get a hold of me too. We have Friends of Sugar Creek. They're there once a month. We
Mhm.
love having them. They have I think they
A raffle for a kayak
yes,
every
a
year.
raffle for
That's
a
pretty
kayak.
cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bought a lot of tickets. I still don't have a kayak. So.
Well.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we hope to get Pam's Promise down there and a few others that will be coming in. And so we are looking for nonprofit
Okay.
organizations. Also food trucks. We have a couple
Mhm.
food trucks that are coming back that we absolutely love their products. And that's 1832 Brew. And I want to make sure I say this right. The Smoke and Melts and Roll and Dough. They'll be
Mhm.
back. And a couple have contacted me, but I don't have them locked in yet. So we do have some openings for food vendors.
Food
Awesome.
trucks are all the rage.
It is.
Oh man.
See them everywhere. And I'm amazed, like the weather will be bad. It's like really cold or windy or rainy. And there's this line for the food
Yes.
truck. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terre Haute has created a whole food truck park. They call it the Truck Stop.
Yeah.
Really?
And it's set up where they kind of have a rotation. They're open, I think. It probably varies during the
Sure.
season, but they've got certain days and they've got different vendors that they're set up. It's like a gravel parking lot. It's set up where they can pull up, plug in, and it's set up to be a food truck park.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So yeah, we're
It's,
looking forward to that. I mean, there's nothing better than, a good taco or
right.
yeah. So,
Absolutely. Well, there's a ton of great information. And obviously, like you said, you've got special events that come up, the opportunity for merch sales. People are going to want to know what's going on and when it's happening.
Mhm.
What is the best way for them to stay connected and informed?
So we have a social media presence on Facebook, and I'm going to try to expand that out, maybe to some other platforms. They can always go to the City of Crawfordsville website and get that information. I hope to have a vendor map that will be available. I know I have one for our vendors, but it might be kind of nice to have something for the public as
Right.
well. But they can definitely go to our Facebook Crawfordsville Crawfordsville Farmers Market, and see who's going to be there as far as
Yeah.
entertainment. We've got Ken coming back. We've got all kinds of different entertainment coming too. So they'll be able to get all that information on social media.
Awesome. And when we share this out on our Facebook page, I will make sure that we tag the Crawfordsville Farmers Market so they
Sure.
can click right there, follow the page, like the page, and
Yeah.
stay.
I have a
stay
learning curve for some of that.
Yes.
So I may be calling you.
Yes. I can do that too.
The question we get the most is weather. If there's weather issues, where can
Absolutely.
people find that? Like, is the market open today or not open today? Is that on
Yeah.
Facebook? Or?
Yeah. So that will be on Facebook, definitely. And I also have a vendor page. So anybody that becomes a vendor will
Mhm.
have that vendor page accessibility. And we are really going to try to, if it's just going to rain for an hour in the market, then, we'll arrange some hours. We
Yeah.
might start an hour later, or if we have to close an hour early. If it's going to be a complete washout, we'll make sure that everybody knows
Right.
that. And that's just not going to happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Good
just not
weather
gonna
all
happen.
season.
I think
All
last year
season.
they did a nice job. I mean, if it was raining, they were open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
If
yeah.
it was storming, they weren't.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
so,
yeah. So, we'll definitely look at that. And I've got some friends at the National Weather Service I can always
Perfect.
give a call from my last position.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's going to be a great year
Awesome.
for the season. So,
And your contact information. Do you want to provide us your email?
absolutely. Yes. It's SLYNNPATTON 63. So that's slynpatton63@gmail.com.
Awesome.
Yeah. So they just shoot me an email and I'll get them the information.
Great. And I'll make sure that's in our show details as well so
Please.
people can click that and email away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. Well, is there anything else that either of you would like to add?
I think we've covered just about everything that we need to cover. I appreciate you asking to do the podcast.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah.
yeah. we'll see you at the market.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So what was that tagline one more time?
Be here, be known.
Be here, be known. All right.
Yes.
I'll write that down.
Awesome.
Let's get that used.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And as always, if other people have topics or things that you'd like to hear about, reach out and let us know. And don't forget to check out Yodel, our community connections calendar and newsfeed for all things happening in Crawfordsville. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on this podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you aren't already, follow us on Facebook at City of Crawfordsville Official, on Twitter at City of Seaville, and on Instagram at City of Crawfordsville. We hope you have a wonderful day and can't wait for you to join us next week.